Hello! So, if you couldn't tell by now, I love completing games and reaching that oh so satisfying 100%. So I ask you, would you be crazy to 100% the game again from zero? This crazy idiot would. To be fair, it's not like I'm a stranger to completing the same game multiple times. In both meanings, but Little Nightmares is a bit of an odd case for me. The majority of these games' achievements are actually very easy and can be completed without much of a problem, except for one. And that achievement is hard to the core. For this little nutcase, you have to complete the game in under 1 hour without dying, which is easier said than done. You have to memorize every puzzle and how to go through it while dealing with some mechanics that sometimes do not work well while rushing, sometimes even while not rushing. I swear to God. In my original completion, I used the cheese strat of backing up your save to do it. I legit do not care if someone uses this method to do their achievements. I've done it in other games, but this time I wanted to do it legit. You see, Little Nightmares had a very good reception, and that means it got sequels, but more importantly, when they released the third game in October last year, they also released an enhanced edition of the first game. This edition comes for free to anyone who buys the original, and naturally, since I already had the game, this was given to me automatically. And that is the edition I'm going to 100%. Achievement-wise, it has exactly the same achievements, so besides some visual improvements, it is literally the same as the original. Little Nightmares is a puzzle horror game released in April 2017. You take control of a little girl called Six while she sneaks around a location called the mall, while avoiding all manner of creatures and dealing with their stomach problems. As I mentioned, just like the original, this game also has a total of 22 achievements, 13 in the main game and 9 in the DLC. We'll first do a simple run of the main story while trying to complete as many as we can, and by that I mean getting out collectibles that I can remember. We start our playthrough after dreaming about a lady. After getting myself familiar with the controls again, we immediately find our first lantern that we light with our lighter. There's a total of 30, but we only need 20 for light up your life. Shortly after, we find in a corner a small statue, which is our second type of collectible. We need to break all 10 statues for Rascal. Immediately in the next room, we'd get our first achievement in Highly Sprung for jumping on this bed a couple of times. After going through one of the most disturbing rooms in the game, while opening this fridge to use as a makeshift ladder, a gnome runs away. We follow it through a gap in the wall and hug it. Gnomes are our third collectible for little lost things. There's 12 total. We also lit our second lantern right next to him. After climbing the fridge and jumping off a gap, the floor breaks and we properly meet our first enemy in the worst way possible. Leeches. Ugh. We quickly run through, avoiding stepping on them, and light our third lantern in the next area. Upstairs, we need to turn a valve and quickly run towards the door before it closes. After crossing it, we see in the distance a future enemy, the janitor. We climb through a window to a bathroom and light our fourth lantern on the back of the room. After turning off an electric gate, we need to quickly run through the next room before it turns on again. We find ourselves in a huge area with a big eye camera thing. If we get caught in its light, it will quickly turn us to stone. So we sneak our way past and notice a gnome in an open cage. We climb towards it, lighting our fifth lantern on the way, hug our second gnome, and lit our sixth lantern right next to him. Upstairs, we go to the far left into another room and break our second statue. On the opposite side, we have our first encounter with the janitor, who is blind, so all we have to do is avoid making noises. Fittingly, in the next room, Six starts to starve, but the kind kid gives us a loaf of bread. We start to climb this huge storage room and light our seventh lantern on the way up. After reaching the top, we turn off the light and free our third gnome in a cage, which we pursue and hug. We light our eighth lantern, take a lift back down, and proceed through another eye camera before reaching the end of the chapter, unlocking the prison. We climb up some stairs and enter an office where we lit our ninth lantern and unlock a secret door to a security camera room and find our fourth gnome hiding behind the panel. We pursue it and hug it. Proceeding to what appears to be the janitor's bedroom, we find our third statue on a shelf at the top before taking the key and going down an elevator. But of course, Six starts to get hungry again. We light our 10th lantern and find in the next room a piece of meat inside of a cage. Surprise, it was a trap by the janitor. Of course, we're not done here and quickly bust our way out. We end up finding a candle, and these do count as lanterns, so 11 now. We sneak our way past the janitor by walking on the cloth on the floor and fall down a trash chute where we find our 12th lantern. After playing catch with a shoe master, we get ambushed by the janitor and run for our lives. We hide in one of the boxes in the elevator and successfully avoid them for now. We go beneath the floor where we find our fourth statue and then successfully lure the janitor away with the toy monkey to progress. He notices and tries to chase us into the next room. We use a shoe to hit the door switch to move on, grabbing his attention, but conveniently all the clocks decide to ring now, giving him a huge headache. Guess the janitor is not the only one with a headache. Passing through the door with a seizure, we enter a library and start climbing the bookshelves, finding another candle for a total of 13 now. Before progressing, we walk on the piano keys back and forth to unlock our next achievement, Six's Song. We keep climbing the bookshelves and the janitor creeps up from above. We follow him into the next room, and now we need to make our way across through the top shelves. There's also 2 candles here, but we're only able to light one for now. We enter the next room to find the lever we need to progress. We turn on the TV to distract the janitor and sneakily go back while lighting the other candle. 15 total. We use the lever to get across before he could catch us. After using a minecart to open the door, we find our 16th lantern. After the janitor tries to grab us in the vent, we run for our lives as he is now fully chasing us. We slip past the closing door, but it's being kept open by a cage, allowing his grubby hands to go through. So we break the cage, giving the janitor a premier manicure, and promptly leave, earning the lair for finishing this chapter. We hang on to a meat hook and travel to the next area, and right on cue, Six's stomach can't help itself as soon as we land. So we treat ourselves to some ratatouille. In the following room we go through a hidden vent towards our 5th statue. So now we enter the kitchen proper and meet the chef. There's an achievement in this room as well. We need to throw 3 ingredients into the cauldron. So we throw a carrot, a fish, and some cheese, earning kitchen hand. We move on to find our 17th lantern, proceed to find the key while waking up the chef's twin. We head back down through the elevator and free our 5th gnome who somehow got stuck inside a jar. Now that we have the key, we can unlock the door. In the next room we find a meat grinder we need to fill up to use the sausage to cross. So we go up to the freezer to grab more. Before that though, we enter a vent on the right to find our 18th lantern and our 6th statue. After moving through some vents, we come across one of the chefs again, which we sneak past. But he has a key we need, so we have to distract him. We grab the key and make a run for it. We fall through a trash chute and find our 7th statue in the corner. After sneaking around while the chefs are washing the dishes, we're ready to make our escape. This is one of those sections that can completely ruin a hardcore run. Since we need to grab onto a meat hook at the end, sometimes it is completely out of sync with the sequence, resulting in either a failed jump or one of the chefs catching you. So this is gonna be a nerve-wrecker when we go for that. After successfully escaping, we finish the chapter unlocking the kitchen. At the start of the next chapter, we immediately turn back into a gap in the wall to find our 6th gnome and the 19th lantern. Continuing on, when we get into the outside, there's another pain point for the hardcore. This damn chain. You see, it isn't exactly aligned with the platform we're standing on, so there is a risk we can accidentally fall, ruining the run. We climb on to the next section, the guest area, where we spot a familiar figure in the distance. This section is full of gluttonous slobs. As soon as one of them notices, they want nothing but add us to the menu. We manage to escape the first group, but before we deal with the second, we go through this gap on the wall on the right to find our 7th gnome and our 20th lantern, earning Light Up Your Life. We keep dodging the guests until we cross the chef coming from an elevator. We successfully hide, and once the coast is clear, we break the mirror to proceed. We drop down into the table where our 8th statue was before going through the elevator. Once we arrive, we go into the room on the left and hug our 8th gnome. After being chased by an avalanche of guests, 6 is hungry again, but we don't want whatever the guests were eating. We're going for something smaller. We climb up some stairs, spotting the lady from our dream in the beginning of the game. But before we go after her, we turn left, finding our 9th statue. Entering the elevator where the lady went ends this chapter, giving us the guest area. Now we're in the ladies' quarters, the last zone. We find her singing to a broken mirror, so we sneak past her, break a vase to find a key, but that makes the lady disappear. Good, now we can break our final statue that was on the vanity she was using, earning Rascal. We go through a dark hallway full of mannequins with the lady now in tow. We find a mirror and it was now time to face her. All we have to do is make her look at her reflection. We do this 6 times and we finally defeat her. And when we do, 6 stomach gets a little idea. Get it? Little? Okay. We eat the lady, steal her powers, and proceed to horror farm our way out, stealing the life of the guests. No, we're the ones eating you today. We go up a huge set of stairs with some gnomes coming to see us leave, and so it's the end of the story, earning the lady's quarters for finishing the last chapter. So as you probably already noticed, I missed some collectibles, namely the gnomes. I guess I didn't quite remember where they were, huh? So we have to do another playthrough to find all the gnomes. But first, I wanted to do the big reason I went for this completion. Oh yes, we're going for it already. It is time for the hardcore run. Now generally, you'd think this is a nightmare to go through. but majority of the game is actually very easy to go through, if you already know the solutions to the puzzles. Keyword majority. As I mentioned before, there are two sections in particular that can end your run easily. The final chase in the kitchen, and the big chain on the outside at the beginning of the guest area. With the chef's chase, sometimes the meat hook you grab at the end can be out of sync, making you fall to your death or get grabbed by them. As for the chain, because it isn't exactly aligned with the platform you're standing on, plus the camera being so far away, there's a chance Six won't even grab the damn thing. I don't think I have to tell you that when you make that much progress, dying to something random like that makes your blood boil. Of course, in a normal scenario, you can cheese it with backup saves, but the whole purpose of this completion is to not use that strategy. So we start a new save. For the first and second chapter, there isn't much to comment on. There's very little room for error in the first, it is straightforward, and on the second, we just need to correctly avoid the janitor. But once we reach the kitchen, things can start to not go our way. Sometimes the chefs will notice you, and of course we got the end. Thankfully, the chefs worked as intended, and there were no surprise chases, but the moment of truth would be the final chase now. Oh! Well, moment of truth. First moment of RNG. I get clipped. Will the game screw me over? Let's find out. Okay. Oof. We're still not hands-free. It was still early to celebrate. The chain was immediately after. The fucking chain now. Ugh. Please grab the chain. Please grab the chain. God damn it! I had it. Okay, there you go. Going up, keep going. I actually did it. What the hell? Okay, now all I'll need to do is go through the guest area, which isn't too bad, but I do have to be careful because the range on those grabby hands can be deceitful. Okay, chase sequence. On. Stop shooting! There you go. Come on. Once we did, it was smooth sailing from there. The lady boss fight is one of the easiest parts. Once we dealt with her, we just need to keep walking. If we did it, the achievement would pop about halfway through the final stairs. Mm-hmm. Might have got it. I think we got it. Come on. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We got it first try. That will be amazing. Come on. I won't be satisfied until I see that thing pop up. Come on. Oh, six, can't you walk faster? Come on, six. Hurry up. The top of the stairs. We got it! Hard to the core! What's different about you? How could you be so brave? Oh my god, we actually got it on the first try. Oh no. Now that the hard part was done, the remaining achievements would be a cakewalk. We start another playthrough to find the missing gnomes. For the sake of time, I'll just show the ones I missed. In chapter 2, after dropping into a chute while avoiding the janitor for the first time, beside the lantern near where you drop, there's a ladder we can climb. Our ninth gnome is at the top. Still in chapter 2, after we go through the seizure door, instead of going up the bookshelves, we go below the table on the right. Our 10th gnome will scare off to the left of the room behind one of the book stacks. In chapter 3, after we wake up the second chef, we have to go back to the bathroom. Our 11th gnome will be in the corner. Still in chapter 3, our final gnome is below the table with the meat grinder, earning little lost things. There was still one more achievement left to collect in the main story though, and it was elusive, which unlocks when we barely avoid getting grabbed by an enemy a couple of times. I tried to do it in the same playthrough but wasn't having any luck, so after I collected the final gnome, we kept on, hoping it would unlock eventually. Thankfully, we unlocked it when one of the chefs almost caught us. So the only thing left now is the 9 achievements in the Secrets of the Maw DLC. Similarly to the main game, it is divided into chapters. In this case, 3. All 3 chapters have 3 achievements each, one for completing it, another for finding all 5 message bottles, and 1 miscellaneous. In this DLC story, we control one of the kids that was sleeping in the room where we first encountered the janitor as 6. Just like with 6, we have a dream where we get dragged by something underwater. After waking up, instead of going to the right where 6 went, we go to the left, following another girl who is making a run for it. When we reach the bathroom, we find her making a makeshift rope, but before we keep going after her, we grab our first bottle of this chapter in the sink. Eventually, we follow her through a sewer pipe and find her flashlight. It's ours now. Unfortunately, we quickly discover what killed our friend, the leeches. And this time, because the floor is flooded, they are actually way faster than in the main story. After traversing some flooded rooms, we discover there's something in the water, because of course there is. After dealing with some more leeches, we find the mechanism to raise the water level to proceed. But before we reach the level we need, we go through a pipe to find our second bottle. We get chased by Granny again, that's actually her name, and around the midpoint of this section, we grab our third bottle on the platform at the back. We lure Granny away with some fish, allowing us to reach the next room where our next achievement is. By throwing this ball into the pipe, I'm guessing, we unlock fun and games ahead. In the next room, we lower the water level to break the vase that contains the key and a leech. Then in the following one, we lower it once more to place some bags as platforms to cross through the electrified water, which we mess up the jump. After we make the jump correctly, we discover Granny was waiting for us. Oh no. Gee, I don't like you. Oh no. I don't know if everyone saw the actual model of that thing, like what the hell? Like by itself. Ugh. We keep jumping between platforms, avoiding her, but before we move on to the next room, we do a big jump towards this platform for our fourth bottle. We cannot make the jump back though, so we have to drop down to the water, and then I notice you can actually see her underwater. I don't believe you could in the original game. Oh my god, you can actually see her. Look at that thing! Ew! After recovering a lever to open a door, we go against Granny again. We turn on the electricity and drop a TV on the water, killing the hack once and for all. Instead of going up the stairs immediately, we remove the planks on the right, revealing our last bottle in this chapter, unlocking Not Alone. Proceeding upwards, we are ambushed by the janitor and put into a cage, ending this chapter and unlocking So Close. The janitor puts us in a bag, but we tear it down and escape, falling into a pile of coal. We are immediately introduced to this chapter's mechanic. We have to befriend gnomes so they can help us proceed. We find one stuck in a cage, so we throw 2 gnomes up so they drop a bag we can use as a platform to reach it, but before we release him, we go into a vent on the top left, finding our first bottle of this chapter. We discover a gigantic furnace that our friends start powering up, opening a door, but before we go through, we go up, finding our second bottle under some stairs. Going through the door, we find a mechanism, but one of the fuses is broken, so we sneak into a huge dark area where the janitor is wandering around. We find our third bottle though underneath another set of stairs, which we climb right after. We jump across and use a bench to reach a vent, drop down into the room below to find our fuse. We sneak past the janitor, insert the fuse and go up. Coming across a file room, we climb the drawers, reaching a platform on the top left, collecting our fourth bottle. After befriending the gnomes in the room, with their help, we push a box under the door so they can make a cross and bring them to the furnace room. Going up this time, we encounter the janitor again, and this time, unfortunately, he has something we need, that wood statue. For an achievement, we need to bring that all the way back to the furnace and burn it. So first, we turn on the saw to distract him and slowly carry the statue and drop it into the next section. We find a gnome stuck in a jar, and since they are very impressionable little guys, they imitate us when we jump. So we take advantage of that to make his jar fall to the floor, freeing him. With his help, we can now go up and lower the minecart, but we don't have enough hands to push it up the hill. So instead, we push it to the left so we can access the other room. We find 2 gnomes in the next room swimming in the coal, and with 4 sets of arms, we can now push the minecart. But before that, after unlocking the door, we keep pushing it to the left and use it as a platform to reach a shelf where our 5th and final bottle of this chapter is located. Unlocking Is Anybody Out There? We push the minecart and bust open a door, and the gnomes are now ready to be dropped down into the furnace room. But before that, we grab the statue and put it there as well. After they are dropped, there's now enough gnomes powering the furnace to turn on the elevator. But before we go up, we throw the statue into the fire, unlocking Ashes in the Maw. We go up the elevator and find the gnome's hideaway. Once we continue, we fall on top of an elevator. Inside it, the lady. And this concludes the second chapter, unlocking End in Sight. Time for the final chapter. Immediately upon starting, we turn on the second dark hallway to find our first bottle on top of this bookshelf. We sneak past the lady, and we must now gather 3 statues to open the path forward. We go to a library and place all 3 books in their correct spots to reveal a wooden statue, which we use to replace the stone one we need in another room. That's 1 statue. We solve a light puzzle to enter a dark gallery full of disturbing pictures. Let me just say, out of the entire game, I find this chapter to be the creepiest of them all. We press the buttons of the pictures that appear in the previous room to open the door to our second statue, but before we grab it, we go go all the way to the right through a hole to find our second bottle. We pick the statue and it's a trap. An eye camera almost turns us into stone. We hide in the statue's pedestal and sneak our way out. After we place the statue in its place, the entire area gets even creepier. Most of the lights go out, the lady is nowhere to be found, and there's creepy shadow kid creatures attacking us now. We defeat them by shining our flashlight on them for a time, and once the coast is clear, we can grab the key that the lady was guarding. We open the door, but before we go through, we can now do the miscellaneous achievement. We go back to the library because there was a book with a mask symbol that didn't fit any of the slots before. If we take it to the start of the chapter, there's a bookshelf near the elevator we can put it in. Once we do, a secret room containing a vase will open, and when we break it, we unlock our next achievement, Ashes to Ashes. We can now go through that door, and instead of going left, we go towards the camera to find our third bottle. In the following rooms, we get attacked by shadow kids, and we must turn a lever in between attacks to open a door. Once we get through, we step on the piano keys back and forth to unlock a secret panel containing our fourth bottle, and we find our final statue, which we immediately take back to unlock the door. We then find the lady looking into a mirror unmasked. Unfortunately, them creaking floors revealed us, and she didn't like us seeing her all-natural look. We go through multiple dark rooms full of mannequins when one falls off. That's our cue to know to go a bit more to the right towards the camera to find our final bottle, unlocking I'm Losing You. We keep running through the dark halls, but unfortunately she ambushes and turns us into a gnome. We keep going despite our new look and end up finding a familiar looking sausage, and in the DLC, an earning We'll meet again. And that's Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition 100% completed. When I found the Enhanced Edition in my library, all I could think about was that damn hardcore run, so I'm glad I went with a different route to get it. I'm legit surprised with myself. I thought I was going to suffer repeating it for hours, but the fact that I got it on my first try, I feel amazing. It's time for stats. Steam Hunter's average median completion is 8 hours and 40 minutes. Our completion took 7.3 hours. In terms of difficulty, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Yes, the hardcore run can be frustrating when the RNG isn't in your favor, but since it is possible to cheese it with backup saves, even though I did not use this method for this completion, I cannot give it more than a 3 for that. As for the game itself, play it. Whether it's the original or the Enhanced Edition, Little Nightmares is such a unique take with its character designs. Despite being a horror game, there's very few scary moments. The game likes to build tension more than actually jump scare you. It is also a short game that often goes on discount, so definitely worth grabbing. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. As usual, if you want to come hang out and share your own completions, you can find the Discord link for Twisted Wins, the achievement server I hang out with, in the description. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.